Hello YouTubers, diecast collectors, fellow J-Rods, it's me, the J-Man63, and today I finally got this amazing little set of 1/64 scale Hot Wheels record holders in the Legends series, and these are the most amazing little 1/64th I've ever checked out. I've seen these on camera, and it's nice to see videos of these, but seeing these in real life, the videos just don't do it justice on how nicely done these little cars really are. And when I pull all these out and show you, you're not going to believe the absolute amazing level of detail these have, and you're almost going to think you're looking at a 1/18th scale in a way, and even some 1/18th is not as detailed as these. So I'm going to pull this down for a sec. And you have in this set, these are the vintage record holders, and I'm still looking at getting the George Barris set. I'm also looking at getting a few others, but this has Challenger 1, which is Mickey Thompson's car, and this set a land speed record of 401 miles an hour, and this was before all the jet turbine powered stuff, so this is pretty much one of the fastest 4-engine V8 land speeders that they had, and there were a lot of streamliners, but this set the speed record for Bonneville. And you also have the Watson Roadster. However, this is not the Agajanian, as people know, but this is Parnelli Jones's car. This set an Indy 500 record of 141.3 miles an hour in 1963. And you also have Buck Baker's Black Widow. This is the NASCAR champion, most wins in a season of 1957. And you also have the Willies Gasser, which was driven by Doug Cook. And I think this is the second Swindler. And this set a speed record for the gas class, I believe. And this was a quarter-mile record of 11.22 seconds at 126 miles an hour. You know, some people don't think that figure is too amazing in quarter-mile standards, but back in '65, this was pretty much picking it up and getting it for a gasser. However, there's cars that are probably a lot more powerful now, but it's amazing to know how these came to be. And I think there's the thing. No, there's not. Interestingly enough, there is nothing to read here. Alrighty, so, whoops. Let me jump into these 1/64 scale. And the nice thing is, this has a nice case, mirrored back. Now, I will say be careful, because the case is kind of loose. Or in this case, it's wanting to be tight on me. Okay. I have to be very careful here. I do not want to crack the plastic or break anything, because you will see how detailed these are any minute. Alright, so you pull this a little closer because I don't want to screw anything up. Let me get into position here on my table, and you're going to see the level of detail these have. Now, these have little pegs you put these on. Now, if I can let my camera kind of get in focus here, the light's kind of playing with the colors on this a little bit, but, Lord, if my camera will, I'm trying to get it to focus here. It's having a hard time. Let me turn this out of the light a little bit. My camera's having a hard time focusing. Anyway, you can see there's a lot of detail. There's a lot of chrome. There's literally almost every piece of little chrome accent trim. In fact, I got to get this out of the way so I can kind of showcase this for you. Actually, that helped with the focus a little bit. There's like an amazing level of detail in these little 1/64th that, like I said, you're not going to believe it until I turn this thing upside down and you get to see like the full chassis and everything on this. It's absolutely amazing how much work they've done on these little things. And like I said, you're just not going to see this in normal Hot Wheels. Like nowadays, when you think Hot Wheels, you think of the toy brand, but a lot of people don't think of how much they did for the adult collector back then. And if only this light was better, I'd probably have to set something up to block it. Let me see if this will work. There we go. That kind of blocks some of the glare a little. But it's amazing the work that they do. I kind of got to turn an angle. But it's amazing. Like I said, you just don't get this level of detail in a 1/64. Now the hoods do open. I'll showcase that in a minute here. Let's see if I can get this one to cooperate. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, see, the hood opens. There is an amazing level. In fact, there's pretty much a whole engine block if the camera will want to focus for me. It's pretty detailed in here, honestly. If I had my dining room, I'd probably have better light in my setup. However, it is pretty bright in here, and I probably shouldn't have opened the curtains, but there's an amazing level of detailing on these. Now let me show the undercarriage here. Look at how nicely done that is. Like, I wasn't kidding when I said these are absolutely amazing in detail. Like I said, and these tires are done pretty much to scale. That's how skinny these NASCAR tires were back then. And it's amazing how little these were. So look at how small these little wheels are. You know, it's hard to think they were doing an oval at that speed back in those days, but you can see the suspension arms, you can see the oil pan. The only other 1/64th scale that I know that's this detailed is the American Muscle castings, and it's pretty amazing that they're able to cram all this into such a little package. So there's the Black Widow. Now we're going to move on to the Stone, Woods, and Cook. Alright, so let me see. This is Swindler number 2. Okay, so I had to kind of get my information correct. And I'm really hoping that this camera wants to cooperate, because let's see if it will work. I'm going to shut my blinds. I'll be back. I'm going to dampen the light in here. Alright guys, that didn't take me very long. I just had to kind of dampen the light setting in here a little to get the lighting down a little bit. Okay, I am back. Alright, so I had to dampen my light setting a little, and for sure it was bright in here. Now that might help the phone to focus a little more. Alright, so again, I'll just show the Black Widow since my camera wasn't focusing, and of course I'm still having some focusing problems with my lens a little. And I can't really get it to focus, but it's not wanting to do it with me. Alright, so it's not focusing correctly. Try turning it towards here. Alright. That seems to kind of help somewhat. But like I said, the Black Widow is just very nice. So now let's move on to the Willies coupe. Alright, so here's the Swindler. Very nicely done car. These had the plain windows in these, so sometimes when you see Gassers, you're used to seeing the window tints on these, but these do not have that. Now, I wish the logos would come in clear. However, it's not. I'm going to have to wipe the lens off, possibly. Let me see if I can wipe this lens off and it'll focus. Just bear with me for a second while I do this. Just wiping the lens. There we go. Okay, now that should focus better. Let's see if it's going to. Alrighty, let's see. It's still having issues, and I don't know why. Here is the Swindler, like I said. Very nice car. This does not have jeweled headlights, and I think the Black Widow does. However, this one doesn't, but has a separate chrome for the grille. There's actual chrome, there's layered plastic in there. It's just very nicely done. It's hard to really just gloss over all this real quick because there's so much to appreciate. We're already at 10 minutes of video here, but likewise, this actually has, I believe this has a little parachute in the back. It's a pretty awesome little piece, honestly. Like I said, you're just not going to see this level of detailing in a 1/64th. Now, I'll open the hood. However, this hood's kind of loose, and this focus is just god-awful. Oh, wow, and now it wants to focus for me. Fancy that. We got less lighting. We got better focus now. Awesome. Yeah, so there's the motor, and you can see how detailed this is. Now it's all focusing correctly. Wow. Alright, the light had to go away a little bit, and it looks like we got less lighting. Absolutely amazing. Like I said, just beautiful detailing. You even got chrome inserts for the windows. Now my camera's playing with me again. Okay, so you got chrome for the windows. Just absolutely amazing little models. I'll go on and show the undercarriage here. And you can see we even got separate header pieces for that. You got an oil belly pan. The drive shaft is right there. And oh my god, you've even got, looks like, come on. Separate suspension setup is absolutely amazing. The fact that they were able to do all this in such a small package is absolutely amazing. And you gotta think about it, this is all before 3D printing became a thing. You know, people may not think this is so impressive now, but it was pretty impressive that they were able to do all this before 3D printing became a thing. And look, you even got the steering arm. I don't think the front steers, but it almost looks like it could. And real quick, while my camera is wanting to actually focus, I'll go back and I'll show the outside of this. If my camera wants to. Like I said, Black Widow is pretty cool. The detail's pretty good on these, honestly. Now, there's a Speedy Thompson one I want to get as well, but this wasn't associated with Buck Baker or whatever his name is. But like I said, it's even got the side dump, so this is pretty amazing. All these are, honestly. Alright, so there's not a lot more to see. There are 2 more in this set. And I'm going to real quickly go over these because I got to hurry here with video time. But I will show these to you. This one is the Watson Roadster. Absolutely awesome piece. I'm going to be careful not to knock my camera over. At the same time, I have to be careful where I put my fingers because these are extremely expensive models. And these are not, again, I'm going to put it this way. These are not for the younger set. There is stuff that can break. Just look at how nicely done that interior is. Again, you are looking at a 1/64 scale. Remember that. You got separate colored steering wheel. You got some amazing detail in here. Now, I cannot get the hood to open on this, but I do think it opens, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, look at that. I got the hood to open on it. Oh, here we go. Awesome. I was wondering how that opened for a sec. Alright, so for the first time, I am getting to see this engine detail, and the amazing part is this hood opens from one side. So you have a side-hinged hood, and, my camera's just off the focus. There we go. Look at how nicely done this is. You can see inside here, and again, my focus is not wanting to work with me. So I gotta hold this 100% still. Look at how nicely done this is. It almost looks like you got a plumbed motor, except it's not, but you can see that they crammed in as much detail as they could for a 1/64 scale, and I gotta say, it's astounding what they're able to do in this scale. Before the advent of 3D printing, before all that took place, you know, a lot of these were done with a resin wax process, and it's pretty amazing if you look up the history of all the black box stuff that they did before Hot Wheels lost the value of the dollar. Now, I'm going to carefully shut this hood so I don't screw up this hinge. There we go. I got the head shut. Okay, so now you can see all the graphics on here. Pretty amazing little 1/64 scale. I don't want to get shaky hands here, but holding this, it's very difficult to. Now, again, my camera will not focus. This is frustrating. I'm trying to get it to zoom in and zoom out here. See if I can hold it still. Yeah, but it's a pretty nice model. I'm just going to try to move on here. You got the suspension arms up front. If I can get it to focus. See if I can turn it out of the light somewhat. I'm going to try to block the light here. I'll try to put my hand behind this. I've been trying to get this camera to cooperate, but it's been frustrating. It seems to be the trick if you hold your hand behind it. Yeah, just all this little detail. I mean, this is the size of like a hair, you know. It's amazing to think they could do all this in such a small package, but, you know, this is all stuff that's pretty much less than the size of your thumbnail. You know, it's amazing to see all this. The undersized plane, of course, the race cars, so there isn't much to see here. Alrighty, so now I'm going to move on to the last one, and that would be Mickey Thompson's the Challenger. Now, if you have these, this one in particular, be careful, do not turn it upside down with this cowling in place, because you will knock it off, because it will fall off there, because this cowling is attached only by friction. No hinges, no nothing, none of that. Again, I got to put my hand behind this so you guys can kind of see it. But look, they even got the glass for the cockpit in there. They got the exhaust on the side. And you just see how little this is and how small these are, you know, how amazingly done these are. Now I'm going to lift this off, and this has the actual air vents in it, which is pretty cool. And then on the front it says Challenger. You got the flags for the Chevrolet. So you can obviously tell this had Chevy motors in it. So without further ado, let us show you guys what detail this has. Or let me show you, because ba-bam. And I gotta hold my hand so it will correctly focus. Wow. I have to say, there's some astounding detail. Again, if this will focus for me, and try it on this side here. If I drop this, this will not be a good day. Here we go. Some amazing detail in there. All four of those blown, injected Chevrolet motors are done. You even got the detail here. Absolutely amazing. I mean, I cannot believe they're able to cram this much. And yes, these are individual parts and pieces, all done, and they build up extremely detailed engines. There's some amazing work. I can't really show you just how nice these are on camera, but you can see there's headers here. You can see there's headers on this side. And I think the rear exit exhausts I think the rear exhaust exits here. That's pretty cool. I don't want to drop any of this. Like I said, I've got to be very careful, because I do want to put these on display, and I don't want these getting screwed up. You know, I hate to be that way, but like I said, I don't want to screw these up. And like I said, this is kind of something that, you know, you put in a box, you admire, and you pretty much, you don't take it out. Yeah, you can't even see the cockpit. It's so dang small, but, you know, it may not be colored, but the fact that it's there, I mean, is absolutely amazing. Let me see if I can get my hand behind it. Yeah, there's almost a colored steering wheel in there. It's absolutely amazing. I don't think there's gauges. I mean, there's almost a chrome piece in here, you know. It's amazing what they're able to get in there. I mean, and I'm going to shut this carefully. And I'll just show you the underside. There's pretty much nothing to it. It's just a flat bottom race car. Yeah. I know I don't take this long on 1/64. Like I said, look at how skinny these little tires are. And that's usually what salt flat cars have, so. But there you go. Alrighty, so now I'm going to bring this center stage here, and we'll show off the little display case that you get with these sets. And it's pretty cool. You know, you have, I think this is a genuine mirrored back. It's not a sticker. You can kind of see me if I get close enough here. You can see my face, and you can see my phone. So yeah, it's a really nice base. This has little pegs you can put your cars on, and it's really cool. So it adds to the display value. You know, there's 100% boxes, but you don't normally get cases like these with the Hot Wheels sets, and it's pretty amazing that they include this with it. It's very cool. And if you don't want your collectibles to get dusty, it also includes a dust cover, which I like. I like having these for a case. Now, I did want to put these in my collection. However, I don't know how I'm going to display these because this case is angled, and it kind of eliminates the idea of putting stuff on top of this because of the unusual shape. So I'm going to have to find somewhere for these to go. But I have got to say, Hot Wheels, when it was a turn of the century, you guys definitely knocked it out of the park on these little replicas. Absolutely amazing. World-renowned cars, really well done. And there, without the Formula One car, sorry, there is a little parting shot for you guys of these little wonders. Alrighty, guys, I am the J-Man 63. I will see you guys later. Have a good one, and check out the rest of my channel. Like, rate, comment, subscribe. Alrighty, bye-bye.